Hi and welcome to News Libre Sports. I think I've even forgotten how to introduce. That's how long we have taken without, of course, sharing a little bit of sports. I can't promise you this. When we were preparing for this show, we were literally rusty. Speaks about how long we have taken without spending a minute or two talking about sports and particularly sharing with you guys. And I want to say we're sorry, not sorry. Yeah, 2020 has been one kind of year in its own aspect because you're struggling on your own side, I'm struggling on my own side, he's struggling on his own side.
But I think you're actually only sorry if you subscribe. But if you didn't, then I think you deserve our apologies.
Yes, for all our subscribers, we do apologize. We have let you down, and we are incredibly sorry about that.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, we're here. The Africa Champions League final is on the 27th of this month. By now, it should have ended, but considering all that happened, changes were made, postponements were also made, and Al Ahly, the record winners, 8-time winners of the Africa Champions League, will be coming up against Zamalek, their closest rivals, their fiercest rivals from Egypt as well, who have also won the tournament 5 times. So it promises to be such a mouth-watering encounter between the two sides. Last weekend, Creek, we had the Twitter El Clasico.
Twitter.
You know the Twitter El Clasico?
What do you mean by Twitter El Clasico?
Manchester United versus Arsenal. It is the Twitter El Clasico because all that has been left for this big match is now about the fans making noise on Twitter, each side dragging the other, and of course Arsenal got the bragging rights this time.
Maybe for Arsenal fans, they should say it's their first win at Old Trafford
in 14 years.
In the iPhone era.
Yes.
Yeah. So
it's wait, what?
Yeah, because when you look at the iPhone era anyway, Arsenal had never won at Old Trafford
in 14 years.
14 years.
Yes. Wow. Incredible.
First win for them in the iPhone era. So
right?
You don't have an iPhone anyway. So
dude,
if you have an iPhone and you're an Arsenal fan, that was your first time to tweet that you've actually won a game at Old Trafford using an iPhone. So
wow. So all the Arsenal fans, look at yourselves and tell yourselves life is miserable. Yeah. Anyway, we have a lot in store for you. The Uganda Premier League is set to resume in December. Yesterday I was seeing KCCA showing their players who have been undergoing the COVID-19 tests. I think Wakiso Giants have also been doing the same. Incredible things are happening at Villa Park, where they have been on the road for the last 1 week now. They've been registering members. Remember, they have gone back to being a community-based club, and they've been registering new members. We have seen significant improvements, significant changes as well at that is Express Football Club. So two of Uganda's biggest teams in terms of the fans percentage seem to be on their way to getting back to where they're supposed to be.
What took them so long though?
Because probably what we'll do, we'll get probably Mr. Biwol Bernardo Lupo to one day come and tell us what took them so long, and then probably we'll also get Peter Tabu to come and share with us why Express has taken all that while. But certainly there's a lot that is happening. On the flip side, at Lugogo Stadium, it's business as usual. This season alone, they have released a new squad altogether that Mike Mutebi and his boys at Lugogo have unveiled. Then on top of that, the new jerseys kits have been selling. I was speaking to Moses Magero just recently, and he told me, listen Moses, the kits are getting done. And now we're ordering for a new consignment. So you can see there's a lot happening. At Cheptegei, they have also brought in new players, but what's funny is they are going to use the same jerseys they've been using for the last 3 seasons. So
I mean, sometimes they say don't change
the working formula.
Not the working formula, the winning team. I mean, the jerseys, they've won a couple of titles using the same jerseys, so it's literally good stuff for them anyway.
Of course, cricket also has been happening. I think there's a new champion. that happened. That they just concluded it last week as well. But incredible to say that we have seen different sporting disciplines in Uganda getting back to action.
And it's really going to be costly.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think that's the reason why they're keeping on postponing the date for the
Uganda Premier League.
Uganda Premier League.
Yes. Rugby on the other side has remained a little bit quiet on their side. I will remember that on the 31st of August, FUBA was supposed to have released schedules or details, yes, FUBA, for the next basketball activities in the country. But up to date, we have not received anything. I think the only, we apologize for the sirens. Probably they are, rushing someone to the hospital. So that's probably why. But yeah, getting back, I think you look at basketball, I think the only thing that is now going to take place is the national activities. I've seen the national team is well in terms of training. Coach Mande Gironi and the boys have been in training.
But for basketball, I think domestically we won't have any basketball.
I don't think we're going to have any basketball. It's unfortunate, but I think the beautiful thing is we have seen players training.
Yeah, and as well the business is still going on.
Yes.
Players are joining different teams, and I think it's really good stuff. You've talked about the Uganda Premier League, and apart from them preparing for next season, I think this is the time when they've really done massive signings.
Yeah.
You've looked at a team like Express, they have signed a couple of players in there. I think Bosa should be one of the happiest coaches in the league. You're looking at KCC as well, what they have done with their pitch, their jerseys, their players as well. So I think despite the fact that they've really sat back to wait for the season to start, but still it has given them more time to make sure that they do the business that they are doing right now.
Yeah, ideally for me, I think so many teams have been really busy this season in terms of the transfer. You look at Express, they've been bringing some of the guys who had actually gone out international to go to play professionally. I talk about the likes of Murushid Jiko in there. Of course, they lost out on Galiwango, who I thought had they kept him in this team with the new recruitments that they have had, they would have actually been such a massive challenger. Odum Paraka, though, it seems they keep losing everything because now they have lost a lot of people from the technical side. They have gone to join Arua Hill Football Club. Remember, Arua Hill is the new team that is being formulated by, that is Aita Joel, the multi-billionaire who is constructing the stadium down in Arua town. So
even this COVID break has given you time to travel, check out our local sports.
I mean. I mean, true, because I can tell you, Soroti Cricket Academy is also doing incredible stuff. So you can imagine the tremendous work that is being put in by the different federations. Of course, I'm here to see what boxing has in store for us, because boxing for me is one of those sports that really, I feel, has offered Uganda as a country a lot to be proud of. And then of course we go to
athletics as well.
Athletics, it's where I was actually heading to now, because that is Joshua Cheptegei, who represented the country twice this year, thrice, and won twice. Is already being nominated for Male Athlete of the Year in the world. And then of course joining him is Jacob Kiplimo, who won the recent tournament. I think it was in Valencia, should have been. So it speaks volumes about the sporting disciplines in the country.
Yeah.
But just a slight, as we come towards the end of our segment, the show. Kidding, we're not coming to the end of the show. We still have probably another 10 minutes.
But adding something, I think you've literally talked about everything. And I think for the past week I've been watching the CAF Champions League highlights. On Wednesday, to be specific, I think Zamalek was taking on Casablanca.
Yes.
A match where they won 3-1. On aggregate 4-1. Because remember the time when they traveled to Morocco, they won 1-0, and then at home they won 3-1. And to me, when I look at this Zamalek team, I think it's really a different team. I think that Pacheco, the coach, has really done a lot with the kind of players that he has right now. Because for the past years, I know it's a team that was almost there. Like you watch them play, and you're thinking they're
almost there. They're almost getting
there. But looking at the bunch of players they have right now, I think they can take on the best team in Egypt.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing that they'll be playing Al Ahly on 27th November. And
but not forgetting that Al Ahly have also signed Pizzo, the other name Matsomane.
It's okay. Christmas is soon. So it's
yeah, we'll go with Pizzo, the guy who was coaching former Uganda Cranes captain. That is the Mamelodi Sundowns, the team that Dennis Onyango happens to represent.
And it's actually ironic. The last time, it's really going to be massive, because the last time Zamalek made it to the finals, the CAF Champions League finals, way back in 2016. They played against Mamelodi Sundowns. They lost that game
to Pizzo.
So literally they are taking on the same coach but not the same players.
Yes.
Because I've looked at their setup, 4-1-4-1 formation.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at in all departments, they have important players that have been pulling strings for the Zamalek team. You look at the goalkeeper Gabal. He made brilliant saves in the second leg. They played against Casablanca. You look at the two players that play at the heart of defense, Hamdi and Allah, putting in a great shift for the team. And of course, not forgetting in midfield, the likes of Sajani, the likes of Benaki. Up front, Mahmoud has really been doing a great thing in terms of scoring the goals for them.
Guys, there's a bike that is racing along Bokoto, so you'll forgive us, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Maybe we are next to a track. So I really think it's going to be another massive Cairo derby. But to me, if you ask me, I've seen that two teams play, but I think that Zamalek this time, they may shock Al Ahly.
All right. Of course, remember that this final is going to be happening on the 27th of November, this very month. So you want to be a part of this. You want to see how African football is ultimately growing. But Kenya, our neighbors, and of course Ethiopia, who's in the last 2, 3, 4 years have been doing an incredible job of stealing some of our players. Not stealing, but rather recruiting them into their teams. And it all comes down to how their leagues are a little bit more grown as compared to the Uganda Premier League. But the talking point for me here has to be Ethiopia signing a $68 million deal with, that is SuperSport, while that is the Kenya Premier League signed a $119 million deal for 7 years that will be covering not just the Premier League, but you talk about the lower leagues, you talk about the women's football, you talk about activities for the national team as well. And I think that is such an incredible figure. And when you compare it to the money that Uganda signed for,
we have to do comparisons anyway.
We don't have to do comparisons. Yeah, but you probably go sit down, do some bit of research, and ask yourself one question: why are we getting such low deals?
No, but let me tell you something. Of course, we've talked about those good figures for the Kenyan Premier League, but I personally, I'll tell you this: still, that league is not going to grow.
Why?
Because when you look at the kind of sponsors they have been having, by now they should have been at least in top 4 in terms of leagues in Africa. Yeah. But if you ask me, they're not even in my top 10 best leagues in Africa. Because
do they come up as the best top league in East Africa?
Yeah.
Really? Really?
Most times
Tanzania has a better league.
Let me tell you something. Most times, Tanzania, but most times if you do have teams that are not good enough, there is that team that you can just go with it.
Speaking of today, one of the biggest derbies in Africa, that is Simba taking on Yanga in Tanzania, is happening.
Okay.
It's going to be yellow versus red.
I think you just don't want me to criticize the Kenyan Premier League.
No, but
the thing I was saying is they've actually had big sponsors come through, and you expect them at least to be in top 4, because you've looked at sponsors like SuperSport in there. There's a time they had Umbro in there. They had Puma as well.
Yes.
But still, it's a league that it's a little bit stagnant, and I think it goes down to the teams. Because if you remember,
I think it doesn't come down to the teams. I think it comes down to the different unions that are running in that league, the different federations that are also involved in all the football fracas in the country. So it goes down to the teams. It's all about the political.
Because I'll give an example. Gor Mahia and Leopard. I mean, these are two big teams in Kenya.
Kenya, yes,
definitely. Because when you look at in the way they win, sometimes when Leopard wins the Go TV Shield, Gor Mahia wins the league. But you can't tell me
so it looks like as if
they are in bed. There was a time 2 years back when SportsPesa actually pulled out, because SportsPesa was sponsoring the two teams.
Yes.
These are two big teams we are talking about. But when SportsPesa pulled out, they actually struggled to get the finances to make it for the continental games, the CAF Champions League and Confederations. So for two big teams in the country, if you don't have enough finances and sponsors to make it up there, you can't tell me that you're ready to be branded by the league and sold out there. That's the reason why I'm saying it's up to the team. Because if you remember, I think it was in 2015, that time when Gor Mahia had to play Azam in Tanzania. That was the CAF Champions League. They had to wait. I don't really want to use the word begging, but they had to beg for finances simply because they never had the money. We are talking about a team that has won your local league.
Yeah,
they don't have the money to play on that continent.
So the question now that begs is, with this new improved package that is coming from StarTimes, are the teams, if you're the winner, you're going to walk out with say $500,000 as the winner of the Premier League? Because if that is the case, then I think it would be incredible for the Kenya Premier League, because then if you have $500,000 as money that you.
But you know, Ragnar, most times I think that.
Also remember that they have
sponsors.
Bet Kenya as the league.
Ragnar, let me tell you something.
Who are paying by the $1 million? Let me ask you $1 million US per season.
Let me ask you one question. If you do have a sponsor, I think that what would you prefer? By the time when he leaves, to live in a better position or to live in shambles? What would you prefer?
I think you live in a better position.
In a better position, but remember at the time when SportsPesa pulled out, actually most teams never had the money to play football. I'll give you an example. The reason as to why Sony Sugar was relegated, they couldn't afford to pay for the 3 matches that they missed. That's the reason why. Now we are talking about a team that had ever won the title. 2005-2006 under Francis Baraza, they won the title. Not only winning, but they recorded actually 20 victories. It's really big. But if you tell me this is a team that has reached to a point whereby they can't afford to play matches, definitely there is something wrong with the teams. And that's why sponsors can come through for the league, but then what are they marketing? Because I feel like even these teams, they need to get at least more than one sponsors. You look at teams like Man United, these are teams that have very many sponsors, from the shirt, from the drinks and all that. But you can't really rely on one sponsor.
All right. Of course, we have gone a little bit too much into the minutes. But keep an eye out for our second recording that we are going to make, where we'll be talking a little bit more on the flip side, what's happening on the international scene. But for now though, that is our local share. Please bear with us. So I'm not really gone so much into detail with some of these things. We are a little bit rusty, and so we're trying to remind ourselves what it feels like to record.
And you know, most times when you're rusty, you don't want anything to distract you, but the bikes, the sirens.
Exactly. The mic is right behind us.
The birds.
There's a bird down here. So yeah, there's a lot that's going on. But we decided to share something with you guys, something with our subscribers, something with you who wants to become our next subscriber. It's me, Moses Echodo, and Crit Mugabe for Newsletter Sports.